Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Adam and I help DIYers all over the United States save money, lower frustration with their landscape lighting project by helping them pick the best bang for their buck professional lighting, helping them design their lights professionally and install them to last a long time. If you're looking to start your landscape lighting project, then you are at the right place. So in this video, I want to go over what the best tree light is. And so with that being said, I'm going to jump right into the video. All right, so what is the best tree light? So the best tree light is a spotlight. Now, spotlights are the most common type of landscape lighting there is, and there are a lot of different options out there. And so in this video, I want to go over kind of the different aspects of a spotlight that makes it a good spotlight versus a bad spotlight. And so I'm going to compare several different lights that I have and go over kind of the pros and cons of the different types of features. So the first light that I'd like to mention is a light that often is pretty popular out there. It's a solar light. Now, I don't have a solar light with me, and the reason why is because we're a professional landscape lighting company here in North Dallas, and solar lights just aren't made very well. Now, I'm not saying you can't buy them, and I don't want to review any because none of them pass the standard that I have and what I want to recommend. So feel free to go on Amazon. Maybe one day I'll buy a few and then review them and give you the best options of solar lights that there are that I would recommend. But as of now, they're not made very well. They're not made to last very long. And so I would avoid, if you're wanting to do your lighting right and do it professionally, I would avoid getting solar lights. For those of you who just want to put in a few lights, you can get solar lights. I'd say the brighter the better, and probably more expensive is the better way, because I've seen some pretty dim solar lights that don't last very long and you'll constantly replace them. All right, so this example that I want to give is a very popular light out there, and you can get this at Costco. It's a Volt Lighting Costco light, and it's actually made pretty well. It's got a ton of the features that I recommend. Overall, I don't recommend the light. There are better options out there, but if you have a Costco nearby, you like shopping there, you can go online, get it, and if you don't really care that you have a great light in your lighting system, this is a really good option for you. If you want to go more on the you did the job right route, do not go with this light. Some of the features that I really like, I like that you can adjust this up and down. This makes it so when you shine the light somewhere, so let's say I'm shining it at you, you're gonna get blinded by the light. But if I raise this up, you're able to block more of that light from shining in your eyes, and it focuses more on the direction, let's say it's going upwards there, rather than lights that can't move. You get the full blunt of all of the light. So this is actually a really nice feature. Normally when they're not brass, they actually get stuck. So if you don't change it out or like adjust it and you leave it there for a couple years, you probably won't be able to unscrew this. Now, another feature that I really like is, I don't know if you can see the glass here, but on the inside, they actually glue it really, really well. There are quite a few lights out there that the glass isn't glued very well, and when it rains a few times, this lens right here will actually sink into the light. You don't realize that it happened, and then now when it rains, it goes in here and completely breaks the bulb. Another feature I like is they actually put this gel right here where the bulb goes in. Now, this is something that very few people consider. When you put an LED bulb in there and you don't have the gel, over time this area just kind of wears out. And with the gel, it actually makes it last longer. So this connection, you can replace the bulb and this connection will be good for years. So I really like that. The feature of it screwing on like this, it's a hit or miss for me. Because a lot of times what happens is, especially if they don't have this rubber band right here, is just over time, dirt will get in here and it's really hard to open and close this. So that's a feature I'm not too fond of, because usually later down the road, after a few years, you won't be able to open this. Now, not all the lights, but some of the lights you won't be able to open. Another feature that I like is that you can tighten this, so you can angle the light wherever you want, tighten it up. It's good. The problem with this one is it doesn't have any teeth to grip, so over time the light will fall down. So this is what the teeth look like right here. See that? It just makes it stay a lot better. And one of the last features right here is I do not like this. I lost the stake, and one of the reasons why is it just slides on. It doesn't screw on. So for instance, all of these screw on, which makes it so that stake never leaves. You want to have a bigger stake. This stake is really tiny, so you want to have a stake that's a lot bigger so it can withstand anything that hits it and then it doesn't fall over. This is another example of a hinge. This is volt lighting, where this light is really thick and really heavy, and then the hinge, it doesn't have any teeth, so you tighten it up and it uses pressure to hold it together. And I used to install it, I think I did it one time. I installed these lights, maybe twice. But what will happen is, just having gravity and this being so heavy, over time, the light will just fall right over. And so that's one reason why I never recommend lights that don't have the teeth right here, because it's really annoying to have your lights constantly like this. So I wouldn't recommend this light. It's a really awesome light other than that dang hinge. Another feature to look at is the thickness of the brass. I don't know if you can tell with this. This is another volt lighting. This is one of their cheaper options. This brass is very, very thin, so it'll wear out really quickly, and it's just not made very well. So you want something that has a thicker brass, like this light. So this has a very thick brass. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but this is really thick, so you won't have any problems with something like this. Another feature to look at is I like the dome-shaped glass. That just means that when it rains, the water is able to go on the sides, and then it uses this little area right here to, I don't know if you can see that, the water allows the water to drip off and not stay here. Because if it does stay here, then eventually it will wear apart the glue, and then the light, this lens, this glass lens will fall into the light. So you can see here, this is completely flat and it doesn't have a lip. The reason it doesn't have a lip is because it goes up and down right here, and there is some space in the front, so that's completely fine. So hopefully what I went through made sense. So I'm gonna kind of combine all of that and explain it in this video. So this is the light that I recommend. I do recommend some other lights, and if you want to get that list, I've actually made it really easy for you and put it in a PDF. I go over the top 4 brands that I recommend and my favorite spotlight for each of the 4 brands. So if you want access to that free PDF, just click the link below. So this light right here, the reason why I recommend it, if you remember all the different features that I talked about, it's got a dome shape for the water to fall to the side, or it's got this little divot right here for the water to fall out. It's got very thick brass. It actually has a protective coating on it that most brass lights do not have. It has a twist on top, so this will never get stuck instead of twisting multiple times with the threads. It's got a thick stake. It has the teeth right here. So with all that said, this is one of my favorite lights. This is one of the lights that I recommend and we use here in North Dallas in my landscape lighting business. And now I've been able to make you have access to that. So if you click the link below, you can go to our website and you can actually buy this from us. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is the bulb. So these type of lights, they can only light up a tree so tall, because these bulbs can only get so bright. So you have to get, if you have a really tall tree, you need to get a spotlight that does not have a bulb that goes in there. That's called a drop-in bulb. You're gonna have to get a light that looks something like this. This is also a light that we have here in our business in North Dallas. This right here, if you can see, is an integrated light. This is actually called the dedicated, but I'm not going to go into that. So those of you who know the difference, great job. But I'm just going to call this an integrated bulb. Now, these type of bulbs that you don't just drop it in and push it in, that you can buy anywhere like at Home Depot or Lowe's or Amazon, these can actually get really bright. So this can get, I think it's over twice as bright as the other bulbs can get. So this can get really, really bright. The nice thing about these bulbs is they do last a lot longer. Most of the time, these are hard to get access to. For the most part, you will not need to have a light that's this bright. You'll just use the normal spotlights that I showed you for pretty much everything that you would need, except for really tall trees. Thank you so much for watching this video of what the best tree light is and learning about all the different specs of a spotlight. And feel free to watch any of the other videos in this video series. I go over all the different other areas of the front and backyard. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.